Silence.
Right. James.
Sorry, a beat of silence. Alright, we're good.
Alright, welcome back, you guys, to Curse of Strahd. Damn it, James! It's been 5 minutes for us, and it's been a week for you guys, but we're coming back on the scene. Welcome back.
Oh, hi!
Hello.
Chance, you had a moment to yourself of wandering in your own thoughts. What's going through your head at this time?
If anybody kind of glanced at him, it seemed like he was maybe even talking to himself a little bit. And he just, was sitting there, kind of back turned to the group as they were speaking to the Vistani.
You were speaking to your own person.
Yeah, he was just sort of chatting to himself by the looks of it. And then when he finally, stopped, he kind of was listening over, and that's when he finally was like, well, just maybe speak to Ezmerelda instead of the dead head. And flopped into the cart.
I said, I'm guessing I'm not hearing that because I was approaching.
Yeah. This was kind of during the ceremony. We were kind of focused on the others. I mean, you might have seen him kind of chatting to himself. Seemed like it was just brief. He was just chatting to himself.
Usual chat grumbling, or Chance grumbling, excuse me. Chance is in the wagon. Hildy approaches, looking up at the sky. Hildy, what do you do?
Yeah, I approach him. I speak softly so that only he can hear me, and just. I get that it's a little sinister, but what are you particularly skittish about right now?
Skittish? I'm not skittish, Hildy. I'm tired.
Of what?
Of wandering all over these goddamn forsaken lands. Not finding what we need. Being led one way over the other. How long has it been since we've had a good, solid lead? Or bloody well know what we're doing? We go and we chase down something only to find that we're 2 steps behind where we need to be. Find a sword, she says. It'll help you slay the goddamn foul devil that's got a grip over this land in his unholy tyranny. And what have we got? A piece of it. He wiggles the sword hilt. And we don't have a stake neither. Ireena's frozen in some shithole of a monastery. And all we've got to speak for of it is a dress. And my own commitment to be some fucking altar boy. I just don't know. I'm tired. And I don't know what to do.
Well, I'll tell you what we do. We continue.
Yeah, alright.
We're all tired. That's all we can do.
Yeah, well. At least Yog's got a sous chef.
What?
Hey, Kazan, can you cook?
Kazan.
The spell's done.
The animated armor, rather. Just kind of. It stands and it sways there idly.
Yeah, it'll chop onions and the like. It'll be just fine. Yog.
That's exactly what we need.
If you tell it to do stuff for you, Yog, it'll help you cook things and make about the camp. I reckon it'll be handy. It punched a hole through the wall, so, it's got some strength to it.
I mean, that does sound like an interesting skill set. Chopping and punching, that is. Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Oh, I figured you lot would get along. Anyway. As you've got that wagon there, I reckon with the 2 of these we might be able to travel a little more comfortably. And I had an idea. If we're resting for the night, we might be keen to do so here in the tower. If we're worried about
on the first floor.
Well, maybe. The upstairs is pretty comfortable, and if we're worried about the devil being able to see us, I suppose, magically, maybe he can't inside there.
I reckon you're right.
Oh, in the first floor though, because remember we can't. Not everyone can get up the elevator.
Also, those golems were pretty mad.
Well, they weren't attacked. They didn't attack us when we went back down. I think they got over it.
There was just the one that was mad at us.
Well, we don't have to. And structurally speaking, the whole thing looks like it's about to collapse.
I mean, we could sleep on the first floor, though. I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just not everybody could get upstairs.
Well, it's shelter, is what it is.
But we
Yeah.
ought to decide. Do we go back to Kresk, or do we go towards Velaki and Castle Ravenloft?
That's up to you guys.
Well, we keep running into dead ends because now we don't know where Baba the dog is, and we don't know where the stake is.
Found a sword, right?
A sword handle.
Yeah. It was weird though. I don't like it. Can someone else like look at it though? She like rubs her hand back on her the sides of her dress.
Can I see it?
Sure. And they'll hold out the sword hilt.
Take it.
It's sword hilt, and right where the sword would be, there is a holy symbol of the Morning Lord, kind of engraved into where a sword might go, but there is no slit for a blade.
Well, it's supposed to be made of sunlight. I guess I could spend some time with it to see if I can ascertain any information about it.
Sure.
Hey Hildy, did you ever find anything about that thing we found in the Abbey?
I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, Zhana just reminded me. I'm gonna pull out the pine/oak/maple/Christmas tree out of my pocket. I never got what it looked like. Suck was a little vague about that, I think, or it's just me. Bad memory.
Never understood that either, because to be honest, I was spacing out and playing a different character at the time.
It
Yeah,
was
well,
it was
it's
definitely like the one of the card things.
It looks like a tiny tree.
I have an idea.
While you're all figuring things out, let's bring the caravans around the castle. If we camp on the first floor, or if we camp just outside the tower, it looks like there's a little space where magic can go and it can't.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna
hey-
I'm just gonna stay away while I do that. Sorry,
Oh, go ahead. That's okay.
I was done.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ez, I have a question.
Shoot.
So, remember how I was like yelling about there how I was sick of finding heads in boxes? Like, I had found another one. I don't know, when we first got here, like the first week maybe. Does your like mentor do that a lot? You kind of said like made it sound like he did.
Well, something you need to know about him and I is we traveled together for about 5 years, but about 2 years back we split ways. We didn't exactly get along. But despite our rough patches, we made quite the team. But you gotta understand, Nyla. These things fight dirty. If you want to get that upper edge, sometimes you need to resort to things that maybe aren't kosher. You follow?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you do some pretty cool stuff. It's not that necessarily. It's just the guy was just like a guy. He was like pretty nice. And he was supposed to meet us. And then when we had gone into town, I was asking about my fiance. And then they said, oh, the person that was supposed to ask after him was supposed to be delivered this. And then they just gave me a box and it was his head in it. And he wasn't a monster or anything. He was just a normal guy. So I don't know if that sounds like something he would do or not. That's what I was asking.
You think my mentor's after you?
I don't know why he would be. What? Do you think he's after me? It's like the thought literally just occurred to her. I was just asking you a question.
Don't. She kind of looks you over. She says, smile for me. Like, she kind of like analyzes your teeth. She looks at your ears.
Oh. No, I don't have the pointy things.
Don't look corrupted, and to be honest, you don't act corrupted.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know what you found or what happened. Did you know the victim, or?
Yeah, he was, so the girl we're trying to save, Ireena?
Yeah, that name
her...
keeps popping up.
Yeah, he was her brother. He hired us to help her get out of the city because Strahd wanted her.
And for the first time in all of this, Ezmerelda gives you a perplexed look. The man who's paying you is dead? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you all are still on this.
I guess. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's really about the money anymore because, well, my fiance's involved, kinda, and we want to get out of here, so that's another thing. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then like Ireena's our friend. We want to help her. She was like kind of going crazy.
Well, here's the thing. If you want it out, I could take you out.
Huh? Really?
If Astana are gifted, you can travel from place to place. In fact, these mists that surround the place, we have a way through them. The Rauni, you see, of our caravans. Traditionally, they're the ones who enact the rite, but we're all kind of allowed to come and go as we please, so it seems.
Oh, is that why your mentor killed that guy? Or had him take it?
I reckon if that's the way in, also your way out.
Oh. Well, I can't leave now, because, I gotta save my fiancé first. Then, I would definitely take you up on that. But I want to help everybody, too. I don't want to just, leave them,
I understand if you'd want to leave, but I didn't take you guys for, charitable folk. Maybe I underestimated you. You know what? Thinks about it for a second. Maybe you might want to know a few things before you start hunting him down. And Ezmerelda opens her vardo. She plucks the piece of paper from the shelf and she hands it to you, Nyla. As you take the paper in your hand, she doesn't let go just yet. She says, listen very carefully. This man I'm looking for has lived this life so long. Think about it. How long have you guys been in Barovia? What? Maybe a month?
Mm-hmm.
Guys
Less,
are still,
maybe.
Ugh. Green as ever around the gills. I've been here for a month and a half, maybe 2. How much have you accomplished in a month? Let me ask you that.
We killed some hags, I guess. That's about it. We got outlawed, or we got kicked out of a city. I found my fiancé. That's about it.
Right. All right. Barring some of the things you mentioned, she kind of makes faces. Right, all right. Keep that in mind. Listen to me very carefully. You have accomplished all of this and more in less than a month. I have accomplished enough to earn myself a small reputation in these parts. 1, maybe 2 months. Rudolf van Richten has been alive decades, living this life, walking this road, hunting down the dark things that go bump in the night. It's changed him. Changes you, just like this land. And Strahd's been alive longer than any of us can reckon. Really think about that when you read this, and she lets go of the paper.
Okay. So I'll read it.
I'm going to give you this handout.
I'm probably spending some time and looking over the hilt of the sword, just kind of taking my time with it.
There you have the journal.
Cool. I will read it.
I feel like I have this montage in my mind of Yogg and Chance sitting on the back of the cart and just yelling for things to Kazan to do. like Kazan, pick that up, Kazan, and just he's making the campsite, and they're just watching Kazan do it, and they're kind of enjoying themselves.
And it literally, you guys don't even have to lift a finger and you're barking orders. Kazan, go pick that up. And it picks and it moves and go put it over there and drop it. It does. Alright, anyone else?
Yeah, I've been trying, this whole time I've been trying to attune to the little tree. I'm sitting on the side and I'm trying to figure out what it is and how to use it.
Lee, as you attune to this little holy symbol, kind of space out for a bit and you kind of go into the dark depths of your mind, wandering to strange places. And in a way, you have a strange vision. Hear your name whispered on the wind. and you have this vision. Your eyes would have clouded over in a snowblind white if they weren't already simply open. You see less about the holy symbol, more pertaining to yourself. You see an obelisk deep in the forest. You almost wake up. You don't know where you are. Wandering through the woods and find burned remains of the old bone grinder. Terrible place. You remember it well. But just beyond that, there's something. You get to it. Almost strange. Your vision kind of speeds up every time you take a step at certain intervals. One step is 20 paces ahead for you, and it kind of brings you forward in these jank motions, and you find this ebony onyx obelisk. Feels like the Lady of the Graves is calling you. You reach out, put a hand on this obelisk, kind of like trying to reunite with source, and your mind comes back exactly where you are, and in your lap, the little symbol that you had, it looked like a tree. What actually it was is sort of this series of ambles just kind of coming up in like this small two-dimensional tree, and the tree kind of, its branches begin to fall. Some of them spinning and twisting into a different shape, almost as if you're dispelling disguise on this very symbol. It turns to what looks like silver sun. It's got a stone set in the center of it. I'll find the item.
I'm attuned to it now?
I don't know if you can be attuned to it. I'll have to look that up later, but it seems to be connected to you somehow now.
Okay, I get up, limp over to Zhana, and show it to her.
Oh?
This is what the tree turned into.
How did you do that?
I concentrated on it. I had a vision. I heard my name on the wind, and I was back at the old bone grinder. You remember the windmill where we fought the hags?
Yes.
And I just basically explained what the vision was, and then I say that the branch just started crumbling and changing, and then turned into this thing.
Do you feel connected to it?
Not in the same way that I'm connected to the Raven Queen. I feel something, just I don't know if I can use it in the same way.
Well, you said in your vision that you were taken to the old bone grinder, right?
Right. I have no idea why.
Maybe it's connected in some way.
I don't like that idea at all.
Well, if that's the vision that you received from it, I don't see what other connection it could have. Do you think we should try that with the sword, then? Well, the hilt.
Maybe it could work.
Okay. And then I'm gonna try to attune to it. I don't know.
Start meditating on it. Feeling the earth. And passes. Anyone else? That's still effing with Kazan.
They're tormenting that poor little armor.
It's written, making good use of health lands.
I did finish reading.
Oh, Zhana, meditate the hilt of this sword. And you focus and you focus. Sun resides in the sky, is shrouded by several clouds. Clouds that rain that falls, falling down to puddles on the ground. You wake up somewhere you don't know. You're in Kresk, you kind of recognize some of the patterns of these trees out here. And there's a man, very handsome man actually, leaning against a tree, weeping, looks up to the sky. His hair is kind of wet and falls in front of his face. His clothes are quite nice, actually. It looks like his own image. It's dripping wet. Seems ghostly almost.
Hello?
He kind of fades behind the tree, and despair in his face is far too much for him to bear, and he covers his eyes and falls behind a tree and gone. Chase after him. You look around, and there's about puddles on the ground.
Who are you?
Vision comes back. Sword doesn't change. Don't necessarily feel connected to it. I have an idea.
I re-examined the hilt of it, and you said there was a holy symbol of the Morning Lord?
That's right.
I'm gonna kind of run the edges of my fingers across the symbol, and then I'm going to cast daylight into it to see if I can try to awaken it or something.
Zhana, where are you standing? Are you right there?
Yeah.
You trace the edges of this, utter the magic words, and a spark of light enters the sword. And the sword is nothing for a moment. It's not working. And the holy symbol starts to glow. And you kind of feel it vibrating in your hands. Such power, and you hold this blade steady as it almost shakes it out of itself out of your arms. Coming from the blade, like a beam of the morning sun, this holy fire sword, almost like a lightsaber, erupts from the very holy symbol hilt. And there, Zhana, have the sword.
It works!
Whoa. Yo, check that out.
Oh,
It works.
that is cooler than what we saw before.
What the fuck is that?
Here, Hildy, this is what yours turns into. Zhana, let me find it.
Yeah. Raven Queen and now Raven Kind. Perfect.
This is the other one you see.
Yo, that's freaking cool. It worked. The cards are right.
Oh, wait,
That-
my bad. Switching weapons. Or that previous one. It's this one. It's better than the
Even
other one.
Oh, that's even cooler. Like, it doesn't show a description, just a picture.
Yeah, it's just a picture. I don't know what this other one was. I didn't see it. You didn't see it. Oh, well.
Well, does it have the same stats as a Sunblade?
Let me see.
Isn't it just like a named Sunblade, essentially?
Yes.
Okay, fine now. Oh, it does gain all the properties of the Sunblade.
Okay, so that is still useful information for me to have. Guys, it worked.
It's really it looks kind of like, I mean, didn't Strahd look like he was hurt when you did the really shiny thing, like what that sword is?
Sunlight, so it
Mm-hmm.
should.
What'd you do to like turn it on?
Well, I did what Hildegard did with the holy symbol that she had. It changed it for her, so I thought maybe if I did, maybe something would happen, and I did. And then I did, and then it didn't do anything. But then I got an idea where I used some of the daylight I can make to kind of wake it up.
That's
Nicely done.
smart.
I did see a man though.
Huh?
In my vision.
You had a vision too.
You had a vision?
It was like
We both got a vision.
Zhana, the sword that you carry, as you talk about your vision, feels sad. It feels so sad.
It feels sad.
The sword?
It does.
The sword feels sad.
Like how sad?
Oh, hold on. I kind of look at the sword. Hello?
Feel a greeting in your mind.
Oh!
Oh God. It's nice to meet you.
Feeling
Why?
seems to be mutual.
Why are you
What is your question?
sad?
I don't really get words, you just feel emotions.
So
Yeah,
since I get these
hard to-
emotions, I probably start instinctively crying myself, but it's like not a will of my own.
Yeah, you kind of have that strange empathic effect where these tears are not your own. You feel a deep, deep betrayal and a great loss. And despair fills your heart.
It's so sad.
Hildy puts a hand on your shoulder and just says, "Can you ask him who he is?"
I can try, but I think he can't really talk.
Maybe he can express it somehow.
Who are you? Is there any way you can talk to me?
Feels like a resource, and that's about as much you can gather from the emotional sort of jargon that you sense in the back of your mind.
It said resource? I don't really know what that means.
Well, all we know is it's a friend, and that's pretty good already.
Oh, will you be my friend?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, sorry. It's nice to meet you. I'm Zhana Ularic. These are my
You're so
nice to meet
cute.
you.
Zhana just starts talking to this glowing sunblade of death, and she happily chitters on, finding a kindred spirit.
Well, it's happy to meet you. But from what I can tell, this sword has experienced a great loss. It's very deep.
Is that just like a thing here? We have like weapons with feelings.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. But this is irrefutable proof that the cards were right, isn't it? I look
take
at
it as
Chip.
such.
I don't know.
Yeah, Chance holds like a straight face on that one.
Well, I mean, have you tried to cut anything with this thing yet?
Oh, I could. I look around. Is there like a rock or like a small like tree nearby?
Ezmerelda just slowly gets between you and the wagon, like, don't even think about it.
Kazan, fetch us a rock and a stick while you're at it.
He pulls a plank of scaffolding. He brings up a 10-pound rock, and he... Cool.
Thanks, Kazan.
Oh, thank you, Kazan. I don't know what's gonna happen, so maybe everyone take like a step back.
I mean, are you good with swords, Zhana?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like backing up.
I mean, we're trained to use swords, so I don't think I should have an issue using it.
Oh, okay.
You mean elven longswords?
Well, I'm because of the elven ancestry, it gives me proficiency with short swords, long swords. I believe, because I know I'm proficient from being an elf. So I'm gonna approach the rock, and then I'm going to a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and then I'm gonna attack it.
Oh my god.
It's a rock.
Roll.
So I hit it.
Roll to attack because this is your first time using a chunky blade.
Okay, so
Chunky in quotation marks.
this
And a
is a +2.
That's right.
So plus my normal stats. So let me bring up my stats. Is on alert. Proficiency bonus is 3, so it'd be 5 plus my strength modifier. Oh no, this says it's a finesse weapon, so I can add my dexterity. So it means I get a +6 to this attack. That's 9. Does the 9 hit a rock?
You lose your footing a little bit, and you, good god, a 3. You come down on this thing. You kind of trip a little, woo! And you kind of slash down towards the side of it. Roll for damage.
Radiant damage.
Right, so you do 5 points of slashing and 1 point of radiant damage, and you into this rock, and it sparks fly, and it aims with a 15-foot radius of dim light. This thing is very much a light in dark places. It does so, and you leave a guts on the rock as it scorches with burn marks.
Well, that certainly
Wow.
looks handy.
Yeah, this will be really useful since we keep fighting undead. A lot.
One problem now. Blade is still active.
Oh, can you please rest for a moment?
The blade disappears.
Oh.
Can you turn back on? Oh. Thank you humbly for this demonstration. Turn back on. Okay. See, it works.
Is anyone here comfortable with handling a sword? I know he's your friend now, Zhana, but combat-wise.
Ezmerelda is like trying so hard to not like say anything. She slowly lifts her hand.
Just pipes up and goes like, well, I mean, I know how to use just about any kind of weapon, but that's about it.
Oh, wait, Yog, you said you got that spear before, right?
Yeah, what about it?
Maybe you should try doing the meditating thing with that.
Right, I don't see how fucking just spending time with a stick is going to help me, but okay, I'll
I don't know.
give it a shot.
Magical.
Hildy just shows him the holy symbol, like, that used to be a stick. Try.
Just a handle.
Alright. I suppose you will eventually do that.
Alright, so
I
set
prefer
up
my
camp
dagger on
here.
the side. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
You guys set up camp here for the night. Eventually starting to come to your own way and your path. Do you camp inside or outside?
How cold is it outside?
It's starting to snow.
Probably inside.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah, Chance would go back up to the third floor or the top floor. Make it comfy with the wood stove. Yeah, in the bed. He's gonna take the bed.
Oh my god.
Son of a bitch.
Who stays on the bottom floor? Everyone else?
I'll be up. I want to be upstairs if it's warm.
Oh, both up top and bottom floors are warm. It's just bottom floor you'll be with everybody else who doesn't go up. Top floor you'll be with Chance. Have fireplaces.
Upstairs as well, Chance has Kazan follow him, and he's like, Kazan, talk me in.
Oh my god.
And it tucks you into bed methodically,
And
and
he's
gets
just
your
like,
feet.
oh yeah, that'll do.
Hold stationary by your bedside, and
Oh god.
Oh my god.
You're the worst.
Nyla, you gonna go up there and sleep with that?
I feel like she might go up to see what's up and then see that and just be like, I'm going back down.
There's a cozy wood stove up here. It's comfortable. It's nice. Yeah.
And Yog, what kind of meats do you have prepared?
Fucking nothing at this point, as far as I know.
Oh no.
He is going to go scavenge and see if he can find anything edible, but that's about it.
There's
I'll follow him just so that he's safe.
a long trek down the gravel road into far across the lake.
Well, I can actually make good berry. I do have it prepared. I just can't cast it in this tower.
Is it gonna go away if you try to go back to the tower?
Well, once you eat it, it's kind of just done.
Maybe
I
you should be
mean,
outside with us.
I mean, no offense to you and your magics, but I prefer eating food.
Oh. Stand. It's go insult inside the tower.
Meanwhile,
Where's Zhana?
Ezmerelda's cooking up dinner for herself in her wagon.
I would probably go back to her and hand her the journal page back.
Says, "Oh,
Were you afraid I was gonna judge him or something?
then you don't know. Something you may not know is the name of my clan, Pattern Task. What that journal fails to mention is that family name, Also happens to be the name of the clan of Vistana who turned his son in.
Oh.
He gets a very guilty look and a very distant stare. There's a lot of bad blood there, Nyla. Not
I thought
easy. Yeah, go on, don't mind me.
No, you can say it. Sorry.
Oh, I'm done talking.
So, them though?
He nods.
So how are you alive?
Oh, not everyone was there, you see, that night. Me and mine, we were off doing something small somewhere else when we came. I don't know how many survived. Making amends wasn't easy. Still hasn't been. You come to terms with something like that, Nyla. Forgiveness isn't a word that comes so easy. Somehow we made it work, and well, that's that.
So you both sort of don't blame the other for what happened?
It's complicated.
Well, it just sounds like there's a lot of pain on both sides, I guess.
There is.
Sorry.
All right.
So, what's this curse thing? Is that a real thing?
Ever heard of a Vistana's curse?
Nope.
Well, it's just saying you should never get on our bad side.
Should I stop sassing you? I don't mean to. Sorry. It's just... Sometimes this place really stresses me out.
Surprised you can keep such composure when you know your fiancé's life is on the line.
I just am gonna save him, you know?
What's he even doing here?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing here. He was supposed to pay off a couple debts before we got married, like just for a clean slate. And then he just never came back. And so I went to go find him. And then 3 years later, here I am. He is aged a ridiculous amount. I think he's in more trouble than even that.
3 years?
Yeah.
Sounds like true love, huh?
That's what I mean. Like, what if he was here for a really long time? Because, like, if he was trapped, at least that's what I'm thinking. He wasn't supposed to take that long.
I need you to listen to me, and I need you to listen well. If you don't learn anything from me, learn this. Can't save everyone. Understand me? It's saying give up on the man. But you need to understand, sometimes, it ain't worth it.
Why do you say that?
We'll see. She goes back to cooking.
As we were jiving here, now you're being vague again. I don't know what to do when you say this.
It's good advice.
For the record, I'm not trying to save, like, everyone. I'm just trying to save, like, a few people.
I start asking yourself what his debts were.
Money, I guess.
Are you absolutely sure?
You didn't show me receipts, if that's what you're saying.
I don't know. This place has a way with dark magic, you know?
Yeah, and with that, she does, like, look pretty worried. Like, something just clicked into place with her. And then she just is like, thanks for showing me the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Then she leaves.
Anyone else?
Where does Nyla go after that?
I mean, were we all getting all comfy in the tower?
I think so.
I'm guessing? Yeah, I'd probably, like, start getting comfy. Setting up my little bedroll and stuff.
Hey, Nyla.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use long swords or short swords?
Yeah. I can use both, I think.
Well, I think if anyone should have the sword, it's you.
I don't know why.
Well, you're pretty nimble. And to be honest, I think in your hands this would have more of an effect than in mine. I can't speak for Hildegard or Yog, Chance seems to not want anything to do with this, so I think you're the best one.
I want to reach out and touch. Is she holding it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, can I like reach out and touch it and see if I get the same weird feeling I got before?
You do.
So what did you say it feels like again?
It feels like when you hold lead for too long and you get that weird tingling lead poisoning in your fingertips or wherever you're
Ooh.
holding it.
Weird. If I like keep it there for a couple seconds longer, does anything else happen?
It kind of like aches.
I mean, that's really nice of you to say that, Zhana. I don't know. It gives me a weird feeling. She's like shaking her hand after she removes it.
That's not
Like
your fault.
hurts. Kinda.
Wait. That doesn't hurt when I hold it.
Yeah, Chance didn't say that either. I don't know why. Maybe I'm like allergic to the metal or something.
Well, let me ask him. Are you
I love that.
What did you say, Zhana?
are you okay with her using you, or do you not want to be used by her?
No response.
Oh, maybe I asked too many questions all at once. Do you not want to be used by her?
Get mixed feelings.
He seems really uncertain. So maybe he doesn't want to.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm not offended. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I have like a sword thing now too. So.
Oh, wait.
Did you see me use that?
Does that mean your sword does like this kind of thing?
It also feels sad.
This one also feels sad.
I know. That's why I was asking if that's a thing in Barovia or something.
Wait, have you tried talking to your sword?
I tried thinking about it.
Well, have you done it?
I mean, I could try, I guess.
It couldn't hurt.
So I will summon the sword in my hand.
You summon the sword, and as you do, the weight of that broken heart is already in your hands and in your heart. And it's right there in your hand as per usual. Zhana, when Nyla summons her sword, your sword is a very strong, apprehensive emotion. Radiating in your mind, you sense danger, danger, danger.
I kind of like, because of that emotion, I probably instinctively take a step back.
Yeah, I know, it looks weird, huh? Yeah, so...
The sword that's in my hand only senses danger from yours.
Danger from it, it's just...
It does not feel comfortable. How did you get that, by the way?
Okay. I only told Chance this, okay.
Everybody is currently around you both.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, we really are like that?
Hildy is staring, Ez is
okay.
staring,
Okay,
Yogg
never
is
mind.
staring.
I wasn't even paying attention to the tokens at all.
Yogg and Hildy, do you guys want to go hunt for food? Would have to cross over the gravel bridge of the island and go into the forest at night.
I look at Yogg to see if he still wants to go.
Yeah, Yo doesn't mind.
You know what?
I'll go with you.
I'm gonna tag along.
The cleric at a ninch from her life is gonna
Sure.
is gonna come along just to make sure they're okay.
Well, I think I might as well go too. Seems you all. Oh, look, is that a full moon? And Ez is gonna kind of wander off.
So what? You told him?
Yogg, really quick. The Yogg, roll me a survival check.
Sure.
Both of us or just Yogg?
Both of you.
I
Does
swear
having
if I
the
have it higher
Outlander
than
background
him.
help?
What's that?
Does having the Outlander background help at all?
Could you explain that to me, please?
Essentially, you have like an innate ability to find food if there is food. beauty the feature from the Outlander background. Give me a fucking second. There you go.
Wonder.
Oh, actually, it's excellent. Berries, herbs. You're gonna have to hunt for meat as far as survival goes.
Sure.
You can find all the fixings just fine.
Right, I guess we'll roll to see if we find anything cool. I suppose we do.
Oh, 18 and natural 20.
Here's what happens. Og, you're finding herbs. Hilda, you're finding berries. You're all just kind of working together and having this lovely little outing together, just in the moonlight, light of the full moon. You hear wolves howling in the distance, and at one point, Hildy, you kind of take a wrong step where your ribs kind of have to move, and you really shouldn't be moving for this matter, and you kind of and you growl into the air, and you hear some wolves go. Whoop. They kind of run off into the woods, and Og, you pull aside the bushes, and there you see a freshly killed boar.
Alright, I suppose he's just gonna go over and check how mutilated it has been since dying.
I mean, its legs have been chewed up, but its meat looks fine.
Fair enough. That's about it. He'll just grab it and call it a good day.
I intimidated a pack of wolves.
That's so fun.
You have to help Hildy back. Hildy's not doing too good. And Ezmerelda passes you on the back of Cadet. She's making a break for the woods. Says, see you in the morning.
Oh.
Wait, you're leaving?
Alright.
Oh. Of course I am.
Where are you going?
Kind of.
You're cutting out.
I'm stuttering.
Oh.
It's full tide right now. Points up to the sky.
Well, have fun, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah,
See you in the morning.
Try to not die.
Whips her reins and on the gravel road she goes, and she actually, horse jumps over something invisible into the forest, and she quite literally disappears into the tree line. I start making your way back. You got the boar. Meanwhile, Zhana and Nyla.
So you told Chance, and why didn't you tell us?
I don't know. Just like he seems to just randomly have magic happen, so I thought maybe he'd know, and it kind of freaks me out, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty justified, I guess. But when did this happen?
Well, okay, this is what I'm getting worried about here. I have this like thing now on my wrist, and it's where the sword comes out. And it looks like something Ruben gave me on the tattoo. And I think it's him.
You think it's Reuven?
Yes, and it feels really sad. Like, and she's still holding it, and like tears are literally like streaming down her face. Like it's almost unconscious, like this reflected like empathy. I haven't tried talking to him. I guess I could try and ask. I'm kind of afraid to.
Well, now that I'm holding this sword, I guess I kind of understand. So, I'm here for you. So if you want to talk to him, you can. And if anything happens, I can always step in. Or I can try, even though I haven't been really succeeding these last few days.
What the heck? You just took out that giant tree blade like 2 days ago.
Only because I broke a stick.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Okay. So I'll like hold out my hands, and I'll just kind of like whisper, I guess, like, okay, Reuven, is this for real, you?
Just feel tears fall.
Is anything is anything different?
I don't hear a voice. It's just sadness.
Okay.
It does bring a memory to mind.
Ooh.
Nyla, was the first kiss you and Reuven shared?
Ooh.
Yeah, make it as gross and romantic as you want.
Yeah, we had spent the day together, and we were talking, like he had like walked her home, and he seemed kind of like a little he seemed a little on the shyer side, but Nyla like really wanted to kiss him, so she was just like, okay, do you want to kiss me or not, you know? And then he did. So it was kind of typical Nyla fashion. That was their first kiss. But when they did kiss, it was kind of the first time she realized like he felt more like home to her than her actual home ever had felt. Just like how she always felt around him. And that kiss kind of like solidified it in her head.
Memory streams back in your heart, and space for a second, but it was your own imagination.
Anything?
I just keep, I don't know, I don't feel like if it's him, he's communicating with me. Sometimes I think about like memories with him. Like one time I was thinking about like what he liked to like carve me pretty little cute things. And I was thinking about it, and then I looked, and like the knife, it was in the shape of like his carving knife. Does that mean that? I don't know.
Well, what did it feel like? Because when I looked into the sword here, I felt a profound well of sadness, but it was also kind. He wasn't anything hostile towards me. He just seemed very sad.
Well, it just seemed sad. It seemed like there was like some guilt there, but also like, I mean, remembering all the times with us too, like it doesn't feel like it's directed towards me, I guess.
Well, try asking again. Maybe you'll get a different answer.
Asking what, if it's him?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Can you feel anything but this?
Oh, for the sake of this conversation, you guys are outside of the tower.
Yeah. That's how I thought.
Yeah.
At this point, Yogg and Hildy are returning. They've got this big old boar that they're toting.
Hildy's just gonna get a little away from Yogg and just say like, "Thank you for taking care of me." And she sits against the wall like, ugh.
Yeah, I was just going to start like dressing the boar, essentially.
Can I roll like either an arcana or like a history to see if I heard of any kind of weapons that do the kind of things that me and Nyla have experienced, or what's going on with like Nyla's mumbo jumbo?
Take a skill and roll it. They will both yield different answers.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Well, it's the same score for each one. So I'll do Arcana, because I kind of want to understand the nature. If it's going towards Nyla and how that would differ from the sword that I currently hold in my possession. That's not bad, but not good.
Seems to be some kind of unique spark in each of these blades. It's not something you've ever really understood. Seem to be able to communicate with it, but it seems like time will also reveal more to you.
Maybe. Oh, maybe they've just woken up, so maybe they can't talk yet. Because you said it wasn't, when that sword appeared, it didn't happen too long ago, right?
No, it was just really recent.
And I just activated this one. So maybe they're just like waking up from a dream. I don't know what's connected to them, but
I just don't know why he would be here when he's over there. that point, wherever direction Kresik is.
I think we'll know more through time. But again, the sun sword doesn't feel comfortable about your sword, so I don't know what's going on.
I have a really bad feeling too.
I'm going to put a pin in that conversation. We're going to briefly go over to Chance.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh.
Boom. It's been tucked in well at this time. You immediately go to sleep? Are you awake?
No, I think he likes the novelty of being tucked in, but then, like, as soon as Kazan went back downstairs, he just kind of exhaled, put his hands behind his head, and just enjoyed his own company, I suppose. Relaxed. Sat back, contemplative.
Several minutes go on through the night, and you're kind of left to your own thoughts. After some time, you start to blink, and the room starts to change. Snow is falling right on your face.
He gets up and kind of brushes his face, rubs some life into it, and then sits up in the bed.
You sit up and you kind of look around, and you're in the forest somewhere. Trees and darkness. Cascades of moonlight giving you some semblance of what's going on.
And he frowns and, like, I guess looks down at his feet to see if he's wearing shoes.
He's not wearing shoes.
He's barefoot in the snow. He's just like, and he's gonna kind of stand up and just start walking into the forest.
Eventually, kind of in a daze right now, and you're going through the forest, and you find a campsite. But the campsite is strange. Looks like the fire is on a table. Table for that made, worn by the weathering elements, if you will. The man sitting at the table, got a cup of ale, keg beside him. Sisters, you sit down as well if you'd like.
Yeah, he kind of just walks up and looks at the odd fire, and then to the keg again. Don't reckon you'd spare a drop. I'm right cold.
Slides you a cup, and as you take the cup, you kind of barely notice it, but behind him, some of the trees are upside down.
I think he just kind of looks at it for like a long time, and is just shaking his head, still rubbing his forehead.
What did you find?
Oh, I couldn't find it.
Frowns.
I don't know where to look. Not anymore.
Maybe you just need to look a little harder. Of gestures to the fire.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe I can't give up. Not now. She needs us.
And he gets up. The same thing happens every night. The cup hasn't been lifted, but he kind of clinks his tankard against yours and drinks from his drink. And as soon as he enters those shadows, something bad happens to him every single time. It's upsetting to watch him. He starts heading for that tree line.
And Chance kind of like just tightens his grip on the cup and just watches the fire really intently.
You watch the fire really intently, and he try to blur out the sound of then the sucking sound as let's go flying everywhere, and you look deep into the fire, and you find yourself waking up at dawn. City, someplace, colors, silk, fire. There's someone dancing in the middle of the fire. Someone with long, curling hair, kind of skirt, beard. whomever it is, they dance with this fire. You see men marching into the square. There's yelling, there's screaming.
I think he's just like he just keeps squeezing this cup. Just like squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter, and his face is kind of contorting with like sadness and almost anger, but he's crying, and he's just kind of silently like just trying to will it to go away, but he's just holding on to it.
You're willing whatever this sight is away, and you clinch onto this cup, and you see eventually screaming and yelling, and eventually there's a burning pyre. You even, at one point, think you see a wooden effigy, but your grip at this point breaks the wooden cup. Your sight snaps back into the bedroom, and you're kind of shivering in your own bed.
And he looks down like at himself, and he has like snapped his driftwood dagger in two. It just like looks down at it, and he just starts crying and like rolls over in the bed for a moment, and he just apologizes to the and just keeps apologizing. I think then before he goes back to sleep, he like kind of tosses the pieces aside and very angrily just gets up and starts like throwing open the wood stove and just feverishly grabbing a piece of wood. He's gonna try to like sort through the fire and the ashes, and like even if it's kind of like burning his hands a little bit, he's grabbing things out of the fire and kind of putting it away, putting it to the side and dousing it, just trying to like dig through every scrap and ash.
What do you think you're looking for?
He's trying to look for like a stake, something that's burned. At this point, like it's burned wood, and so he's just freaking out. He's like grabbing and like handling even some of the burnt wood, which probably stings a little bit, or just outright burns it. But he's like looking over and feeling if there's anything that's like marking on it, or he's looking for a stake.
4 points of fire damage.
Fair.
Just looking for the stake. You're looking for the stake. You're rummaging through ashes, cinders, smoke gets in your face, and you just don't stop until this fire, like you're handling full burning logs of fire, and you just shove them to the side. This fire is now kind of ceased, something of half of what it was, but in no stakes. Hands are black. Soot scorches your clothes.
And then I think he just sits back and kind of at a loss just stares at the empty fireplace until he eventually drifts back to sleep and just lays down on the floor.
Right. Rest of you find sleep. Yogg, roll for that meal, please.
Alright.
Oh no.
No.
Well,
Burn the boar.
this is not your best work by a long shot. Spices go to waste. Meat's burned. Didn't get all the bone out. Some of the tendons are still in there, so it's not even like everything's chewy and hard.
Well, shit, food's food.
Oh, kept it simple, and he hands out the portions.
I imagine people are just looking at it, they're like sucking, having like a little bit of a doubt about this whole meal as Yogg is just like pulling random bones from the corner of his mouth as he just like chews them out of the meat.
Oh god!
Hildy's gonna like tear a big piece with her teeth and just say, well, just blame it on the wolves and keep eating.
I look at Nyla while holding the meal and just like, what?
I would eat it.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
Ugh. guys go to bed with upset stomachs. It's just awful.
Serious
Can I get
heartburn.
my H? Does that give me back my HP?
It's
No, it does.
Nope.
No, yeah, it's food, so you don't go hungry, but no.
No, I was kidding. I know it doesn't.
8 hours rest, Hildy does bring you back some of what you lost. 10 points of that maximum HP drain recovered. Instead of being at 16, you're now at 26, and 10 points will be recovered every 8 hours rest because broken bones don't heal in a day. Hildy, you have a strange dream that night.
Oh.
Dream of black feathers. A dark obelisk. It calls to you. Hildy, what do you do?
I'll go to it.
Something deep inside it. Something buried beneath it that desperately needs to be released.
I'll try to do that.
Digging, but your hands can't find purchase in soft earth, and you just keep tearing and tearing and tearing. And it almost feels like you're trying to root a grave in a strange way. There's something long dead here that needs to see the surface again, and you spend this strange dream pulling and pulling and pulling and trying to reach the ground, let alone unearth it. You wake up the following morning with this cold sweat, this just need that goes unfulfilled.
And she's like sitting up, and there's just the fact that she sat up so quick. It's like, fuck!
He
You guys are
curses.
woken up. You guys are woken up by Hildy cursing.
Probably Nyla shoots up. Oh, what?
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. Like she presses a hand to her broken rib and just, I had a bad dream. I'm sorry.
Aw.
I'm just
Was
gonna.
it?
I'm talking to basically everyone, but I'm specifically looking at Zhana because I told her about the vision.
Oh, is it the same dream?
No, not exactly. There was something. What's the word, Grace? With the black thing. What's the word? I'm sorry. Say it again.
Obelisk.
Obelisk. Okay, I don't know what. I'll be honest. I don't know what that is.
It's like a tower
It's like a tower with
or
like
a pillar.
think of a long rectangle that's been stretched up. On top of it is shaped like a pyramid.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I know what that is. There was something under it, something undead that just needed to get out, and I was trying to get it out, but I woke up before I could. Was it this at the same place? Was it still at the windmill?
Obelisk.
Maybe you have to go there in person.
Twice in a row like that, I have a feeling.
Well, where did you feel like it was? Was it like underneath it? Or...
Yeah. The person was under it. Person, whatever it was, but it was undead, and I feel like it needed my help somehow.
Well, the longer we have these, we'll learn more from them. But... Hildy, yours is a place we can actually go to. And it's kind of on the way if we decide to truly go to Strahd's castle.
We have so many directions right now. I feel like if we do go there, it has to be in passage. Seriously. I don't really know what we're supposed to do at this point, but if it's on the way to where we're supposed to go, then yeah, we can stop.
Yes, you're also waking up? Or you didn't too well, you're kind of stiff.
Who?
Ants. Ants, are you there?
Yeah, he gets up and kind of looks around and seems very confused. What the fuck? And then he kind of has a recollection, but not quite, of at least something being off. And he kind of collects himself and pours out his water skin to kind of clean his hands up. But he doesn't really realize is that there's like a bit on his face, like some soot on his face as well. But he just doesn't know. And he just kind of cleans his hands and sees that they're burned a bit, and then puts his gloves on painfully.
See the pieces of your broken wooden dagger.
Damn it. And he's going to grab the pieces and collect them and then just kind of stick them in his pocket for now.
Meanwhile, in front of the tower, you hear... Whoa!
I think it has his back.
Yeah, I think so too. Start walking out. Oops. Ah!
As you walk out, you see Ez, like, half-dressed, like, yawning.
Half-dressed?
Mm-hmm. Her armor's kind of slunk over her horse. She's just wearing part of her red coat. She's got a wrap around her chest. She's got pants. She's got her boots on. She's kind of tying her band on, and she's yawning like she just had a fantastic evening.
Morning.
Morning.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about something.
It's on your mind. She starts, like, murmuring up. Actually, could you help me with the strap back there? Just...
Sure. I help her.
Right. Seems to be on your mind.
I got weird visions. First, seeing this, I show her the holy symbol, and just now, I had a dream, and I can't help but remember the reading you did. Like you said to me. I'm just wondering if you think there's a connect.
Let's see. Or reading.
Sorry.
It was...
I have it here if you want.
Yes, please, could you read it out loud? It was unfortunately on my notes that died, so go ahead.
A horseman rides a broken road in a hopeless village. His pain will fall before a grave, and there you must speak aloud his name. It's the grave part that hits me.
You're saying you see a grave. All right.
And whatever's buried is not technically dead.
Is there any name on a grave? What did it look like?
It's just this big black obelisk, and it was close to a windmill where we fought hags before. I didn't see it back when we were there, but it was in my vision.
Well, I mean, it could be. Profess. Even I don't know everything I read in the cards.
No, I know, but I was just asking for your opinion.
It's important to you. How far away do you think it is? Bow grinders. Bit of a ways away.
It's pretty far, but like Zhana said, if we're thinking of going to the castle or if we're going in that general direction, we can still stop.
Say follow your best guess, but I'd be careful if I were you. Graves in this place don't exactly have the best connotation.
Are they ever?
She finished his dressing.
And that's from a cleric of the grave. Right, well...
Right.
Thanks. There's breakfast inside if you want some. And I just go back inside the tower.
Catch you inside. Like, hooks up Cadet to her wagon. And yeah, what happens inside?
Why do you have soot on your face?
Oh,
Token.
Damn it! What happened to me?
you're better.
What? I don't know. Nothing. It's fine.
Making more charcoal.
Had a problem making a fire there?
Sure. How'd you sleep down here?
It was alright.
Probably not as comfy as you.
Yeah. Probably not. Well, where are we headed? What are we doing?
Well, we can either go to Crest and get warmer clothes, if we're not really dressed for the season, or we can continue from here to Velocity.
If we go to Crest, we go empty-handed. I'm a little concerned that when we arrive back to the Abbey, well, that priest fella isn't going to be too happy with what we've brought. But I'm worried about Ireena, too. And if we just don't have it, we don't have it. Maybe there's another way we can pay off our debt.
Oh, if we don't have, like, the components.
Well, maybe there's another way. He's a cryptic type.
But he did give us away, though.
Maybe
He
there's
said
another.
Well, that's a conversation you would need to have with him.
I mean, he might have taken it, that Van Richten guy. Still,
So,
if it was here.
find him. Maybe we can find where the
Yeah.
snake is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, pick up the trail again.
All right, I'll bite. Where do we find Van Richten?
Well, the head said something about a Vistani camp.
Oh,
And, right?
well, yeah, and this guy with a monkey.
Yeah, so maybe... Oh, maybe it has something to do with, like, the traveling circus that's traveling with her time.
Oh, that is true. We were there.
And there is a Vistani camp outside of Velocity, too. So maybe he's from there?
Potentially.
Oh, I suppose it's worth a shot.
Something else to consider. Lockie's quite a ways away. Kresk is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Want to drop off what you have and check on your friend. Sure, he
That's
wouldn't mind if
true.
we do another errand, give you time to check your fiancé as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can also complete our business with the burgomaster there and pick up supplies for what we need for the journey.
Aye, it's probably smart. Besides, if we can at least provide something to the abbot, then maybe he'll know it's a token of good faith and we'll have more time to find the stake.
I mean, yeah, and he wanted to help. It's not like he was, like, vindictive or anything.
Yeah,
Like, remember? He was, like, crying.
he's a weird fella.
I mean, he was weird, but empathetic, at least.
Abbott, you.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that's looking after our...
The longest time I thought that church was abandoned.
No, it's not. There's
Far
a lot
from
of weird
it.
things in there.
Yeah, the abbot up there has been performing some sort of odd experiments or some sort of treatment methods on some of these, I don't know if they're villagers or what, but they've been made into all sorts of beasts, different shapes, and it's like a madhouse. Trust me,
Yeah.
It's not the first place we wanted to go. It was very much our last resort.
Ezmerelda starts sort of like that pose she takes whenever she has a notion in the back of her head, and she says to you, "You mind if I tag along to see the abbot?"
Yeah, if you like.
Of course not.
Sure, I thought you were hanging out with us, like, for good now.
Well, I don't stick around in one place for too long.
Neither do we.
Good. Then it's settled. We'll head back to Kresk. Make it fast. Check in with the burgomaster and the abbot. Get some supplies. and then head east to Valoki.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Saddle up.
And I'll head back out to the carts.
I'm also just just saying I'm Hildy is gonna remove like the feather at the center on her outfit and replace it with the holy symbol.
Right.
Cool.
So she has two.
Who is taking Kazan?
Ooh.
That is an extra body.
Yeah, Chance would. I mean, we've got plenty of cart space now. Chance would have actually. This is kind of an interesting thing. Chance would have Kazan load the cart rather than load it himself, and kind of sits back, like nodding his approval, and tells him to hop on, and puts him in the back of the cart.
Kazan stands awkwardly in the cart. Of course, you tell him to sit, and he sits, and he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's riding with who?
Do you want people to ride with you, Ez, or do you like your space?
He kind of looks at your tiny little cart over there. Like every time you guys have had to travel together between Yogg's cauldron, everyone else, it's been like a really tight squeeze. And now you have a full suit of armor in there as well.
Well, we know you're going with yours. And so, should we split the group?
Sure. I'll take shotgun. And he'll saddle up onto the main cart that they have, the tiny one, and he'll sit in the passenger seat, letting somebody else drive.
Ez, do you want anyone in particular to go with you?
It's no difference to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna drive the little cart.
I can go with you, Ez.
We can talk some more.
She, like,
that was cute.
sisters, you hop on in the front.
And then 2 more people could sit in the inside. So Yogg and Nyla on the inside, I guess.
If she's cool with it.
It's comfier than out in the exposed wagon.
True.
And so Yogg goes with Hildy and Chance.
Sure.
It's 3 and 3, and Kazan goes with Hildy, Yogg. Ez takes Nyla and Zhana, and we'll all start heading off. The caravan rides towards Krezk. That is where we are going to end our session for today.
Huzzah!
Cool.
Yay!
Lots of drive.